Rise and shine, everyone. 6 o'clock here on your Monday. The weekend is over. Time to get back after it. Jason here and Alicia here to guide you through the morning.
Yes, it was a lovely weekend. You know why? I got to wear a flannel.
Yes.
And it was really nice. Finally, John, the weather that I like. I put it, you know,
a
it was
flannel?
a little brisk, a flannel.
It's a little early for flannel. I thought that was like late
Is it
September.
No, when it's brisk, around the bonfire, had a flannel.
It was a good weekend. A little taste of fall is pretty much gone today. We're warming it up. 9 to 13 degrees warmer out ahead of this cold front. So it's 66. We're already starting to warm up here. This is fairly mild for this time of the year. It's September. You're going to start seeing 50s and 40s here soon for the morning. So these very comfortable starts are going to be going away soon. Not in the next week. 61 right now in St. Cloud. You see 50s to the north. This is going to be behind the front, so we'll see our cooler weather come in as we go to tomorrow. Here's what the fair looks like today. It is a warmer day, especially coming off of that flannel weather. 80s, I've never worn them. I got to get better fashion, but I think those are still cool. 84 by 5 o'clock, and then we'll start cooling down by 7.
All right, thank you, John. Looking at the Bloomington Ferry Bridge this morning, all great in that area of 169 Southwest Metro. Let's move on. Let's look at 61 here, also moving along great. That's really the story of the morning, Jason. It's been a slow Monday morning commute, not slow in terms of like traffic, just light traffic. What am I trying to say? You're good. Go to work, drink more coffee than I had this morning, get your brain.
Turn
Monday.
on eventually. It's going to happen eventually. It's Monday. This Monday is Mondaying. No doubt about that. All right, Jen, go get some coffee. We'll check in with you in a few. Thank you so much. As we turn to our top story here now, we're learning more details about a deadly bus crash involving the volleyball team from Waseca High School.
This morning, we can confirm that several of those teens were injured and are now recovering. Now, this is video from the scene. State Patrol tells us the bus was traveling on I-90 in Faribault County when it collided with a Mustang just before 9 p.m. Saturday night. The driver of that car died on the scene.
It's a pretty scary start to the season here. We're told about 30 girls were on that bus heading back from a volleyball tournament. The driver of the Mustang died at the scene, and police say he was wearing a seatbelt. At least 7 of the girls went to the hospital for minor injuries. All of them were 16 or younger. One parent we spoke to say they knew something was wrong when the tracking app for their daughter stopped moving.
She said she was sitting in the second row on the right side, and she said she was just looking at her phone, and she said all of a sudden everything went black, and I woke up and everybody was screaming, and she was confused, and she said my face hurt and my chest hurts.
So right now we don't know how many players may be out for the upcoming matches because of their injuries. This morning the State Patrol is investigating the cause of that crash.
This morning, Minneapolis police are searching for a 27-year-old man they believe was responsible for injuring an officer 36 hours ago. At around 3:30 Saturday afternoon, police tell us they responded to a report of a stolen vehicle parked on East 42nd Street. The driver was allegedly slumped over inside. Police say when they tried to arrest him, he drove forward, trapping an officer and dragging him alongside the vehicle until it rammed into a nearby pillar. The officer broke free and joined others in chasing the stolen car until it was out of sight.
Well, we are live in Atlanta this morning at 6:04, where in 3 hours, former President Donald Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, will be in court for a pre-trial hearing. This is the first time the public will hear some of the evidence against Meadows, Trump, and 17 others charged in the plot to steal the 2020 election in Georgia. Now, today's hearing will center on Meadows' motion to move his case to federal court. We'll also see District Attorney Fani Willis lay out the details of her anti-racketeering case against him and the other defendants. Meadows is one of several who have filed to move their cases from Georgia State Court. Trump is expected to file a similar motion.
Tonight, students at the U of M will commemorate the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. That's when about 150,000 people gathered at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. to push for racial and social equality. Tonight's event is at 5:30 at Northrop Mall. There will be a procession following featuring speeches from community leaders and people who were in D.C. 60 years ago. It will then be followed by a concert at 6 p.m. And it's a really big morning for new students at the U as we take a live look at the Mark G. Yudof Residence Hall. Students living in the dorms will start moving in for a second day. This week is Public Safety Week on campus, where students can talk with campus police on how to stay safe. Safety has been a big concern after incidents on and off campus over the past few months. It's caused law enforcement agencies to increase patrols in that area.
Well, the big question here this morning, chickens or no chickens? At 6 tonight, the Brooklyn Park City Council will talk about allowing chickens on residential properties. The proposal was first introduced back in 2022, but was tabled because of concerns over avian influenza. If this is adopted, the measure would permit up to 4 hens to be kept in backyards with proper regulation and care, of course. The ordinance would not allow roosters to avoid any noise concerns, which is probably a good move.
Yeah, you'd be waking up right about now, actually.
Yeah, probably.
All right, let's take a live look from the state fairgrounds. It's quiet there now, but in about an hour, the gates will open for week number 2, day number 5. There's a lot of big things being offered at the fair today, like the first ever sensory-friendly morning. Lights and volume will be dimmed at the Mighty Midway and Kidway this morning, which is huge. There's also more tools that can help you and your loved ones navigate their health at the fair.
And this morning, Jen is showing us an exhibit at Health Fair 11 to help spot early signs of memory loss.
One of the exhibits you can check out here at Health Fair 11 is put on by Bluestone Physician Services. What they're offering is free memory assessments. So basically they're testing you to see if you have any early indicators of dementia. So you'll sit down here, meet with one of their staff people who are going to tell you 3 words. They're going to ask you to remember those 3 words. Then they're going to have you draw the face of a clock, and they'll ask you to set it to a certain time. When you're done with that, they're going to ask you to repeat those 3 words. If that's a task maybe you're having trouble with, then it might be a good time to talk to your doctor. You can check that out here at Health Fair 11. Back to you.
And if you're heading out to the fair, we'd love for you to stop by the Care Barn as well and play trivia with us. That's happening at 10:30. Today's topic is
The Olympics.
Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum. We also have...
Okay, sorry.
No, we can't do the entire theme, the Olympics. We also have live newscasts at 4, 5, and 6. There'll be giveaways and live performances this afternoon through Sunday. You can find us at the corner of Judson and Nelson, even though we do have the rights to the Olympic theme. So
Do we?
Yeah, I think so. NPC?
We'll find out.
Yeah.
They're shaking their head no in
No.
the studio.